everyone. Come on in because we are back, y'all. We are back again. There's a lot of ladies in this episode. A lot of ladies. They just keep on coming. So let's go ahead and get started right away as we move on to the next lady. And thank you, everyone who's been enjoying this little mini series of this Pop the Balloon. I'll try to do more, but we're in a slow period right now. We're just waiting on Married at First Sight to come back. We're waiting on Ready to Love to start. And so I thought I'd do this little mini series in between. And I've been having a good time. And so I'm so happy that some of you have dropped down the comments to let me know you're enjoying it. And we got to keep it going. We will definitely keep it going. I'm not saying we're going to be doing one every day like we've been doing here recently, but we will definitely keep this going throughout the year. And that way, even when Married at First Sight comes back, even when Ready to Love comes back, we'll sprinkle in a little bit of Pop the Balloon. All right, so let's keep going, y'all.
Single lady.
Okay, this is who we have left, y'all. We've got Dr. Dez. Let's get the rundown just in case some of you guys are new here. Dr. Dez is a nurse practitioner. He makes a nice little coin being a nurse practitioner. He calls himself Dr. Dez. We don't know why. You don't need a doctorate degree to be a nurse practitioner, but maybe he's got a PhD in another subject. We don't know. He's got a 3-point program, ABC. This is how he evaluates women. He says he's a high-value man. He's from the Kevin Samuels era. So he says ABCs, appearance, brains, and character. So far, we haven't even been able to get to the brains portion. He's eliminated every single woman over the appearance factor or over the age factor. He says he's African. He says in the African culture, you cannot date a woman older than you, even by 1 year. So he eliminated a woman because she was 1 year older than him, and we don't even know if it's a full year. Second of all, we have the tall guy. He says he is a reformed player out there in the streets. He's an ex-basketball player that went bust, that didn't make it. So when he was in college and high school, he had a lot of women around him. He was reckless with his sperm. He didn't wear a condom. As a result, now he has 4 children by 4 baby mamas. He never married any of them. He's got a clothing brand. This t-shirt he's got on, he's pushing it hard. He's pushing it real hard. The last lady, he wants the lady to put his clothes in the store. He's looking for a business opportunity with some of these ladies. He also said he's a little bit of a freak. He says, if I take you out, I'm going to want you to drop them panties in the car. That's just lets you know what's going on with him. Like I said, he's from Las Vegas. He's a general manager at Yanni's. Yanni's does have some good Greek food. I've been there. It's kind of like a casual dining place. But I tell you what, he don't make enough money to pay for 4 kids. So hopefully them 4 kids can pay for themselves. Then we got contestant number 3. We're calling him the Indianapolis Colts mascot. He's got full on Indianapolis Colts gear on as if he's going to the Super Bowl, and they ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. We hope he has season tickets, because if you repping this hard, you better have some doggone season tickets. Anyway, he is a little short. He's 44 years old. He's the oldest of all the men here. Most women haven't even given him the time of day. He barely makes it past one question before they're popping his balloon or he pops their balloon. He says he owns a logistics company. I'm guessing it's a trucking company, but he says he makes a little money. He says he does well. He says he plays hard. He says he works hard so he can play hard. He says he loves to travel internationally. He says he's done with all this domestic travel. He has elevated himself. So don't come around him unless you got a passport and you can get a passport and you're eligible to go out of the country, because if your passport has been revoked, you may not want to push up on him. Okay? So that's what we got with him. We got the next guy. I believe his name is Cedric. He's got the little Hawaiian or flower shirt on. He's more of a corporate guy. He just revealed to us he too does not want a woman with children. He just said he doesn't want no woman with children, but he wants children. He's got really rich friendships. He's had long friendships. He has friends he's been with a long time. He's outgoing. I believe he's looking for a professional woman. That's what we know about him. Last guy on the M, his name is Jamie. One lady already called him out about his eyebrows. She said, look like your eyebrows have been done. What does that mean? He didn't answer. He didn't say whether or not he'd had them done. He didn't say whether or not those are just natural eyebrows. We have no idea. But what we do know about Jamie is he's 38 years old. He's a contractor administrator. He's a lifelong learner. He is a student, which means he is still in school. We don't know for sure, but someone has told me in my comments that he is a PhD candidate. So he's been in school a long time, a lot of schooling. We don't know how much student loan debt comes with that. He hasn't told us. He also does not want a woman that has children. 38 years old. He don't want you to have none. So you better be young. You better be young. Okay, y'all. That's what we got so far with the men we have here. 5 men standing. 5 men standing. Let's see if the lady that comes out is going to be a winner. Let's go, y'all.
Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
My name is Gigi.
Gigi, how old are you?
I'm 33.
And what do you do?
So currently right now I'm processing out of the Army as a 12 Bravo, which is a combat engineer.
Ooh.
I'm a staff sergeant, and I do government contracting for private security.
Okay.
All righty. Thank you for your service. That's right. Thank you for your service. Okay. First of all, this lady got it going on. She's I guess she's transitioning out of the service. Let me tell you something. Oh, let me tell you something. These people who have done time in the service, one thing, as I'm gotten older, and now I have friends or know people who have, transitioned out of the service, they are living large, y'all. They did their time in the service, they got their pension, they got their health care, and then a lot of them are young enough to go on and start other careers. They're really young enough. So really they end up being a person that has had military experience, military pension, and benefits. Then they're young enough to go out and have another job, and then many of them even have businesses. So, hey, kudos to them and kudos to them. She's a small little petite little thing. Um, and she got on them high heels, but look at those arms. Look at those arms. She's buffed. She's buffed. I know she got long sleeves on because she didn't want to intimidate no man. I know she does, but I can see them guns through that shirt. The last lady told us she was packing some guns. She had heat at her house because she needed to protect her daughter. This lady, Gigi, right here, she got these guns right here. I can see them. I can see them. All righty, let's see how the men like Gigi. She's a little spinner. Men like little women like this who can spin around on top of them. Let's see.
For your service. Now, what are some things you like to do for fun?
What I like to do for fun, I like to travel.
Okay.
I like to.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. She just says she likes to travel. Y'all, if any of you guys have been watching my series, you know one of the things we're getting down to is how people say what they want, but then when it's presented to them, all of a sudden they don't want it anymore. The Indianapolis Colts mascot on every episode, every woman has said, I like to travel. I like to travel. I even just said it in my whole introduction because he says it every time. The minute this lady said that she likes to travel, guess what this man, the Indianapolis Colts, did? Popped his balloon. You got to be kidding me. I lost a little bit of respect for you there in Indianapolis Colts mascot. Let's keep going. Let her keep talking, then we're gonna figure out why you pop your balloon because she says she likes to travel. Oh my goodness, y'all.
I like to travel. I like to read. I do ride motorcycles.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
I do that too. I like to stay in the gym.
Okay.
I like to shoot guns. I like to do like a lot of adventurous things. So I'm open to things, but that's what I like to do for fun. Work out and do that type of thing.
Dang, I want to hang out with her.
For a man.
What I look for in a man is someone who's kind, someone who's patient, someone who is led by God, someone who just knows exactly how to just allow me to be me and me allow him to be himself. So we can try to get together, like be sorry, a little nervous.
You're good.
Try
You're doing
to
well.
understand one another as far as I don't know, just make sure he's honest, be a man of integrity. And like I said, mostly have patience and understanding. We all make mistakes,
Yeah.
But we have to learn from those.
Okay. What is?
Okay, I'm loving everything about her right now. I'm loving everything about her. Nothing about her so far I don't like. Um, I'm good on everything. Okay? I'm keeping it positive and I'm good on everything. Let's go, Gigi. Let's go, girl.
Your deal breakers.
Deal breakers are men that smoke. Sorry, I just don't like the smell. I'm not a smoker myself. You don't take health seriously. I'm not saying you have to be a gym head in there 24/8 or whatever the case may be, but someone that can hold me accountable and we can be accountability partners. Okay. As well as someone who knows what he is led by, someone who knows their purpose, and also as a husband, what he wants his household to look like underneath his leadership.
Oh, right.
Okay, shoot. You know what? When you're in the Army, you take a lot of leadership courses. You learn a lot about leadership because that's a lot about what the service is about. So when you come out of the service or you've done the type of time she's been in the service, you said, I know what leadership is supposed to look like. I've been around it for a long time. So you're not going to come up in here and talk about you a leader of a family, but you don't really know how to lead. So we're going to see what this Dr. Des Bryant, we're going to see what Dr. Des says, because he's over here, mimicking and repeating the Kevin Samuels mantra. And I remember one of Kevin Samuels' thing was leader, provider, protector. Leader, provider, protector. That's what it was. So she's over here saying she wants a leader. And she didn't say anything about a provider because she probably got some money of her own. But she said she wants a protector along with the man, those guns, and her real guns, her rifles. Let's see what we got going. But she laid it out. She laid it out. She said she was a little nervous, but it was articulate enough for me. I understood everything she was saying. Everything.
So we did get a pop balloon. Let's go on over there and see what he ended up popping. Your name and age?
Ice 44.
Nice to meet you.
Ice, why did you end up popping your balloon?
I like the shoes. They fly. You got it going on.
Thank you.
Honestly, I just didn't really feel that spark with you, but I do like the things that you said you do. That's cool. I just didn't feel it, to be honest with you. That's the only thing.
Thank you.
Okay, so he said that he didn't feel the spark. That's what he said. And there's no doubt about it. She's a service woman. So service women typically come with a little bit more of I'm not going to call it masculinity, but a strength. It's really a strength. They come with a strength. And as I look at this man who says he likes to travel, and one of the things I've been saying about him is he kind of hangs his head low. He's kind of like low energy and things like that. I feel like he believes she would be too much of like a drill sergeant on him. I think that he is probably more of a laid back guy. You can kind of look at the way he's dressed, the kind of way he stands, and she's the complete opposite. He is slouching. Look at his slouch. Look at her standing up straight. Okay. She is disciplined. And I think, I'm not going to say that he's not disciplined. I don't want to say that about him. I don't have any information about him. But when he says that he's not feeling the energy or whatever he said, I don't think it's her physical look, because I think she's a pretty lady and I think he probably would be attracted to her. I think it's the fact that she is an Army sergeant and he feels like, ooh, she might try to boss me around too much. And I own my own company. I do what I want to do. That's all I could come up with. But I think he made a mistake by popping her balloon so soon. I think he should have given her a bit more chance, especially considering that ain't nobody else wanted to take a chance on him. So maybe he was afraid she was going to pop his balloon, so he popped his first. Who knows?
Okay. Now, is Ice someone that's your type?
Very put together. I do like your ensemble. I like how you're laid out. I like you're confident. You're speaking to me. You're looking at me in the eye. I like how you're dressed. So yeah, I mean, he looks nice. Probably a bit too older for me, but you feeling confident.
Oh, okay. I missed that. That's probably why he popped. He knew she was too much younger than him because she is 33. There you go. Makes sense. I get it now, Ice. I get why you popped. But she did give you a compliment. She liked your outfit. There you go. So the first woman to compliment you on the outfit is a woman that's used to wearing a uniform every day. Of course, she's going to like her outfit, the mascot for the Indianapolis Colts, because she too is used to wearing a uniform just like you got on a uniform. But hey, you got your compliment finally, Ice, a woman who liked what you are wearing. It just so happens she's 33 years old and you're 44. Hey, you never know what package is going to come in. You threw away a package because she was 33, but she even said that you're a bit too old. So maybe later on, she probably would have maybe even popped your balloon anyway. So I guess it's neither here nor there. Let's keep going.
Thank you.
That's what's up.
And then we got a pop over here. Name and age.
Desmond. My friends call me Dr. Des.
Des
CEO
popped.
of Platinum Care Health Solutions.
Platinum hair
Age
solutions,
37.
whatever.
Okay. And Desmond, why'd you end up popping your balloon?
She's beautiful. She met the specifications for physical.
Okay. She's beautiful. She met the specifications for appearance. First lady to come out to meet his specifications for appearance. That means now, ladies, we got to move on to the B and the C, which is going to be brains and character. But he popped his balloon. Which one is he popping his balloon over, brains or character? Because I ain't seen either one of them could give you a reason to pop the balloon. So what is this fool going to come up with now?
Appearance. She did make a statement about when you're talking to somebody, looking them in the eyes.
Yes.
That's a very cultural specific statement.
It
I'm
is.
from Africa. Usually, if I don't look into your eye, it doesn't mean I don't respect you. It doesn't mean that I don't value what you're saying. It's just that sometimes we respect people by not looking them in the eye. So that's what.
So he just said, once again, he's bringing this African culture into America. And he's saying she said, look people in the eyes, because I guess that's also taught in the military. Look people in the eyes so they can see that you're being honest, that you're paying attention and that you're listening. A lot of people say that that's a good listening technique, so people know that you're listening to them. Nowadays, most people, you're talking to them, they're looking down at their phone, and you don't feel good when someone's looking down at their phone and you're talking to them like, are you listening to me? Are you hearing me? This man has turned that around to say that it's a respect thing to not look a person in the eyes. And so therefore, so is that everyone? Or is that only with your elders or people who hold certain positions of power or prestige in an environment? Are you never supposed to look anyone in the eyes, Dr. Des from Africa, who's here to teach us all about African culture? Part of me thinks there's some truth to what he's saying, but another part of me realizes that he's mixing truth with some hogwash. That's what I believe. Okay, Dr. Des.
Pop my balloon.
And just me personally, I was just saying for him, just for as far as, because again, my ex was Liberian as well. He's kind of taught me of some of the cultural things of that.
Uh-oh.
Not saying that it was a deal breaker because he isn't, but I understand if it's a deal breaker for you. It's just, it helps me because it allows me to be a little less nervous because now I get to like kind of feedback off your eye contact a little bit.
Okay, so basically she said she called bullshit on his answer. She says, okay. And I like the way she did it. She really did it very classy. She didn't say, well, no, that's not true because I was married to a Liberian and he didn't have no problem with it. You see, that's what she could have said. That's what she could have said. She goes, okay, thank you. She says, well, I was dating my ex who's a Liberian, and he has told me a little bit about the culture and what have you. And I understand that although it wasn't an issue with him, it could be with you, whatever she said. But basically, she said it very respectfully. Very respectfully. I love a woman that can rise above low class men. I just love it. I love to see elevation. Is there a time and a place to go to the gutter with someone? Yeah, I've been to the gutter. I've been in the gutter before with some people. But what I really like to see the most is when people elevate. When you elevate. And let me tell you, elevation frustrates people more than getting in the gutter with them, because a lot of gutter people or people who want to bring you down, like Dr. Des, they're really also sometimes suffering from low self-esteem and things like that. So in order to elevate themselves, what they need you to do is they need to pull yourself down so they'll be higher than you. That's what they like to do, because they don't really feel confident about themselves. And they look at you and they go, wow, you've got a few things that maybe are elevated over me. But in order for me to feel good interacting with you, talking with you, being around you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to knock you down a few pegs. And so then what they do is they can start saying nasty things to you, talking about you, really trying to get out under your skin, pushing your buttons. Now, here's the trap. If you go in the gutter with them, then what they'll say is, see, I knew you was less than me. I knew you was a gutter rat, just like I'm a gutter rat. And that will give them a sense of accomplishment, and it'll make them feel good about themselves. But if you elevate, and when I say elevate even when you don't feel like elevating, elevate even when you don't really feel congenial, but you're going to play like you congenial. When you elevate, let me tell you, it makes them feel even worse. Because remember, They already thought you was all that, or they already wanted to knock you down a peg. So when the reverse happens, that not only do they not knock you down, you elevate. You elevate. Boy, oh boy, they get really, really angry. Now, let me tell you the key to elevation. The key to elevation is to elevate and then walk away. That's what you got to do. You got to elevate and then walk away. Some people, what they do is they elevate, but then they stay there in conversation with that person. Don't do that. Because if you elevate it, now what you've done is you've made that person feel worse. I'm telling you, they're going to feel worse. Then as they feel worse, what they'll do is they say, now they got to ratchet up the gutterness. They got to ratchet up. They go, okay, my first punch didn't get her. So what I got to do is I got to ratchet it up and I got to come back even harder. And then eventually what happens is they wear you down. They punch you so many times, say so many negative things about you. Finally, you break. And when you finally break, you slide all the way down back into the gutter with them. And then they go, I gotcha. So this is what you got to do. When someone tries to bring you down to the gutter, you got to elevate and walk away. Okay, y'all, remember that. Elevate and walk away. That's my tip for you. So right now, what she just did to Dr. Dez, when he tried to put a negative spin on looking someone in the eyes, she elevated. Now what I want her to do is walk away. Get them heels to clicking.
All right. So is he someone that's your type?
He is, like I said, very well put together. I love your outfit. I love your shoes. I love the way that you talk. Definitely my type, yes.
Elevate, then walk away.
What do you say man for?
She's wonderful, man, and she's a service member. I mean, if you see my pin,
I do see your pin.
I respect our service members, and thank you for your service. I have a special place in my heart for women that are in the service. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
There you go. Elevation, and now she's gonna walk away. She didn't poke the beast. Some people are like, well, I don't want to walk away from people like that. It's not worth your energy. It's not worth being dragged down by people's negative comments. Walk away. I like it, Gigi. I like it.
Alrighty, so we've got 3 balloons left unpopped. Go ahead and ask these remaining guys a question.
What do you do for a living?
Okay, and then what else? Add on to it.
And have you ever been married or engaged?
Okay.
Married
so
or
name
engaged?
and age and answer your questions.
Dan, I'm 40. I'm a general manager, a 5-star restaurant, Greek restaurant at that, in Las Vegas. And no marriage, the engagement, it just didn't work.
Got you.
So no marriage to the 4 baby mamas. He said he was engaged, but it didn't work. But we don't know if he was ever engaged to one of the baby mamas or if he was engaged to a whole 5th woman. We don't know. There it is. 40 years old, 4 chances at starting a family. He said none to none. He said no to none of them, or the women said no to him. One of the two.
Thank you.
Name and age and answer your questions.
I'm Cedric, I'm 37, and I work in sales for a staffing firm, and I'm also an entrepreneur as well.
Okay.
And I've never been engaged or married.
Okay, thank you.
Hi,
Name and age and answer your questions.
my name is Jamie. I'll be 38 next month. Never been married. I was married on Facebook before, but I wanted to.
Did Jamie just say he's never been married, but he was married on Facebook once? This has got to be some crazy story. There, what he put his status to married for what? For what reason, Jamie? Jamie got some stories. Jamie has some story. He got a story for every one of those rings that's on his fingers. He got about 10 rings on all fingers, and he got a story for every single one of them.
For real.
Facebook relationship.
Yeah. And I'm a contract administrator, warfighter first. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He said he's a contractor administrator, war fighter first. That's all I can tell you. Maybe he works with government contracts. Maybe that's why he sort of really, he leaned into her like, we got something in common. And he said a contract administrator. So maybe he deals with government contracts. He says, that's all I could tell you. Maybe he top secret. Uh-oh, Jamie, are you top secret? We know you smart. We know you smart. Somebody done told me you in the PhD program. What you doing, Jamie? What you doing out there?
All right. now going to hand you a pick.
Okay. Oh, the worst part.
I know.
Oh,
there you
gosh.
go.
Okay.
So go ahead and pop one balloon.
Okay.
I know she's gonna pop him. Good. I'm liking her already, Gigi.
She was cool, but when she said the age thing, I'm 40, so I don't want her to feel like obligated.
Obligated.
And you was vibing with everybody else, especially him. So
I haven't got to come speak to you yet.
you know, a lot of people keep saying the vibing. The vibe was there, so maybe he needed a balloon back or something.
I understand.
Anyway. He looking for happiness.
Dr. Dez don't want a balloon back. He's just here to promote his business. He ain't really looking for no woman. I don't see it, not yet. I don't see it, not yet. Yeah, because the way he eliminated her over the fact that she said to another man, "I like the fact that you look me in the eyes." Give me a break.
Oh yeah, we're all trying to find our piece of happiness in someone.
But you do look good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You look very well too.
Thank
I like
you.
the way you have your outfit put together. The shoes, you look real nice. The laces are tied, so everything looks good. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we've got
Gigi said laces are tied.
What does the family dynamic look under your leadership? How does that look like? You as the husband, head of household, what does that look like underneath you?
Okay, let's go on over. Start over here.
So it's interesting. She said, "What does head of household look?" One thing I know about Gigi is she was already married to an African man, or not. I don't. She didn't say she was married. She dated a Liberian man. Okay, under African culture. She's also part of the military. So the things about people in the military, they do know how to respect leadership. And so what she's looking for is, even though I'm a strong woman and I'm part of the military, I also still know how to follow great leaders. And so what she's saying is, don't be fooled by the fact that I'm a military woman. It doesn't mean that I can't follow a great leader. I'm a leader, of course, I'm a staff sergeant, but I also know how to follow. And she's saying, in order to lead me, I'm also going to want to know to make sure you also have leadership qualities as well. So let's see how this works out with Cedric.
So not a husband, never been, but when in that situation, I was raised very old school. So being the provider, protector of the family, head of the household, and allowing my significant other to be her full self as well. So just giving freedom to be fully creative in your own personality, and being able to support you in your purpose as well. That's what I see.
Okay, so Cedric says, "I ain't never been no husband, but I'm gonna figure it out. I got a couple of good role models I can, practice or, watch. And I got a few ideas about it. So I think I can do the job." That's basically what he's saying. I mean, who really knows if you ain't never done it before? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to show up and have a vision for it, and then you got to make it work. But sometimes what we think and how it turns out ain't even the same anyway. A lot of it's learning on the job, y'all. A lot of things are learning on the job, just like parenthood, motherhood, fatherhood, being a wife, being a husband. You go in with the best skills you have, but you also got to know you don't know everything. And some of the things you're just going to have to learn on the job, and you're going to have to be willing to learn on the job. Even when it gets tough, you got to be willing to just learn and get better. That's really what it's about.
Thank you. And over here.
Hey,
Hi.
how you doing? Under me, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely running everything. I'm running everything, you know.
Jamie said, under me, under my leadership, I'm definitely running everything. I'm running everything. And he's laughing about it. He says, "I just want you to know." Now, if y'all remember with Jamie, I kept saying that Jamie has sort of this lackadaisical, not nonchalant sort of demeanor. If you didn't listen to what he said and you watched his body language, but yet when he speaks, the things he says actually speak discipline. So when he talked about that he was a student for life, that takes discipline. When he's talking about, "I run everything," he likes to be in control. He said he doesn't want a woman with children. He wants to plan his own children, which means there's this planning aspect to him as well. I mean, it's hard to get to know Jamie in this one little pop the balloon session. You would need to sit down with Jamie for hours because he's the type of man that has a lot of layers to him, a lot of layers. Some people are very simple. You can figure them out real quick. Jamie is the type of person, I believe, that has layers and has depth. And it doesn't mean that all those layers are good layers. You don't know what you're going to find when you start peeling them back. You may find some good stuff or you may find some not so good stuff. But one thing I do know about him is he's got some layers to him. Absolutely.
But I appreciate my wife, you know what I'm saying? She's the queen, you know, so it's the wife, you know, and then the kids and everything after that. But, you know, they said the husband supposed to love the wife like God love the church, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely believe in Christianity and the whole order of everything like that. So I'm going to try to do everything to the best of my abilities. I understand that there's always room for improvement.
You see what I'm saying? I liked his answer. I really like Jamie's answer. And some people may not take Jamie seriously because of how he says it. But if you concentrate on the words that he says, they're actually very deep words. They're very deep words. He's misleading. The childlike braids that he has, it's misleading. The way he sways and moves, it's misleading. Like I said, I would need a lot more time talking to Jamie to figure out what's really going on here.
Nice. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys, any questions for her? You got one? Okay, let's go ahead.
What's more important to you, the way you see yourself or the way other people see you?
So
Interesting.
for me personally, it's the way that I see myself. Okay. Because if I try to control me based off other people's perception, that would be an endless trait. Every day, somebody, you're too short, or I don't like your hair too long, I don't like it too short, you're overweight. Like if I held myself to society standards, I could never look myself in the mirror, because it would be like, oh, am I perfect? And waiting for somebody to see or say something about me and then go from that. Right. That would drive me crazy. So I am how I am, flaws and all.
Okay, I like that. It's good. Good answer.
Good. Thank you. Okay,
Okay, so what do you guys think about his question and her answer? She says, how do you care more about the way that you see yourself or way others see you? And so for the most part, I'm going to say that I agree with her probably 80% of the way, that it is very important to start with self-love, self-awareness, trying to be your best self. The problem that when people stay in that place completely 100% is that they can tend to block out everyone else's voices. Now, do you need to block out a lot of voices of how people experience you and see you? Sometimes you do, because sometimes it's just such negativity. You can't have that weigh you down. Like she said, you're too short, you're too tall, you're too skinny, you're too fat, your hair is too long, it's too short, you're too light, you're too dark, you're too this or not enough this. That will drive you crazy and it doesn't allow you to be your best self. But more often than not, to be honest with you, we're now in a society where what we're seeing more people who are so into themselves that they've created a whole narrative about themselves, even though no one else has experienced them that way. You've got people walking around thinking they're all that, but everyone else is saying, okay, you're okay, but you ain't all that. So I think what's happened over the years is that people have really dug deep into the self-love, loving on yourself, having self-esteem and all that, which I think is great. But now we've got a lot of people who now are not self-aware, which means they've created an image of themselves, a perspective of themselves, but yet no one out there shares that image. So here's when you know you've gone too far. When you think one thing of yourself, but yet you can't find any other person who also sees that in you, then you might need to really evaluate whether or not you're that person. You may want to be that person, but you might want to evaluate whether you're that person, because what do they say? They should know you by thy fruit, right? So you just can't say I'm a fruit-bearing tree, but yet when I come around you, there's no fruit. You see, there needs to be evidence of who you say you are. So if you're a certain type of person, I can listen to you. I can take you at your word. I can believe you. But as I get to know you and experience you, What I'm going to be looking for is evidence that you are who you say you are. And if I don't eventually see the evidence, I just can't believe in what you say you are, even though you say you have all this self-confidence. And because that's how you see yourself. So I agree with her 80% of the way. But I'm going to say that everyone needs to also have self-reflection, and they also need to have what she said early is an accountability partner that is in your life that lets you know, hey, I know who you aspire to be. I know you want to be that person, but that's not the person who you show up to be. Now, can you eventually become the person you keep saying you are? You probably can. Hopefully you can, but right now you're not that. And it's important to know if you're not where you think you should be. That way you can keep working to be that person you really want to be. But overall, I'm telling you, I still like this young lady, Gigi. She's got two men left. She's got Cedric left, and she's got Jamie left. But I'm wondering, does Jamie really like her? I think he respects her. I think she's intelligent. I think he likes that. But I'm wondering, is he feeling chemistry with her yet? I don't know. I can't read either of these two guys yet. Let's keep going.
Yeah. What do you value in what do you value in a relationship?
That's a good question. Thank you. What I value in a relationship is honesty, that trust. Because if I can trust you, then I can be me. Like for me, if I can trust you, I need to trust you with my life. I need to trust that you're gonna have my back. I need to trust that if I look to you for any type of thing, that you're going to either be the logical like mindset, you know, you as men, you are more logical. That's just the way it is. That's the way nature is designed. That I can come to you for
Interesting.
certain. So I look for that trust, that communication. Of course, us following the same Lord or whatever the case may be, having that good bond with God, having that good bond with each other, I feel like is very important. So, and then being soft with me. Like I understand, man, you got to go outside and you got to fight the world, but don't fight me.
You know what? I really, really like her answers. I'm going to tell you, I like her answers. And also, what she's saying is that, she comes from a military background and she says, I need to be able to trust you with my life. I need to trust that you're going to have my back. And and that's the security. I know a lot of women always talk about financial security, but she's talking about another level of security. She's talking about physical security. She's talking about emotional security. She's talking about mental security. She's going deep. A lot of women just talk about financial security. Can you pay the bills? Can you do this? And there's so many other aspects of marriage. There's so many other aspects of a relationship where you could be left vulnerable, where you could be left hanging out there. And a lot of women experience this. A lot of women have money because they have fancy career. They have a lot of net worth, but they're alone. Their ass is out here in the world because they've got no one covering them. They've got no one covering them spiritually. No one is praying for them every night. They don't have anyone physically protecting them in the home or any other place. They don't have anyone looking out for their mental health and protecting them against other people with their mental health. And a lot of people have put so much emphasis on financial security that they're really leaving behind a big exposure in a woman's life, which is the type of security this woman is getting to, which is emotional security, mental security, physical security, right? I really, really like her answers. And she's a 33-year-old woman. And boy, she sounds more mature than some of these 40 and 44-year-old men standing here in front of her. She absolutely does. I really like her. I really do. It's going to take a certain man to be with her because she does exude strength. Even though I hear her words saying, be soft with me. And a lot of times I could see how maybe men have tried to be hard with her because they look at her as hard. She's got a rock hard body. She's a staff sergeant. Maybe they think they have to come at her hard. And but what she's saying is, no, you don't have to come at me hard like that. I really do want to be treated softly. So I want to see if any of these men end up being able to pair with her. But at first glance, I kind of feel like Cedric, she might be a little bit too much for Cedric. I don't know if he's ready for her. Let's see.
I mean, I am a fighter, but not with my person. That's a little light switch. I got to click it on, click it off.
I'm an Air Force veteran. So.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. He's an Air Force veteran, so he should be able to understand where she's coming from. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Maybe he's been around military women, so he has a special vibe with it. I like it. I like it now, and I kind of know where he gets sort of his straight lace from. Remember, I said he was corporate. He was also one of the straight lace guys. He's a armed service veteran too. It's making sense. It's all making sense.
All right. It is that time to pick. Yes. I know they both had really great responses, great questions, but it is time. I'm sorry, Shook. All right, so Jamie, why did you have your balloon unpopped?
You pop Jamie.
I like her. She's cool.
Okay,
cool.
he likes her.
I like her. I don't know. I respect the way that she about something. She got substance. So
yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamie said he liked her. Wow, he liked her. I think Cedric's straight-lacedness is what got her. I think when she found out he was an Air Force veteran, the way he stands up, he kind of looks like military. She liked him. But there's a part about Jamie where like I said, I believe he has layers and he's a bit deceiving. And I didn't know if he liked her, and I wish he would have either verbally or some other kind of way made her realize how much he liked her, because he was playing it really cool. It's this whole nonchalantness of Jamie. It didn't work. It worked against him here, because honestly, there's a part of me that felt like they could have vibed, because she could use a little bit of loosening up. She is a little stiff. I get it. She's from the military. She's a little bit stiff. And I feel Jamie is more loose, but I think he has a connection to the military. I think he does. And I think maybe the two of them together could have introduced some new things to each other's lives, but still also share a foundation of discipline. I think they share a foundation of discipline. To be in a PhD program, you have to be disciplined. So I think they would have shared some discipline and meeting goals and targets together, but maybe he would have brought a little bit more lightheartedness to her. I think they could have done well. I don't know if the two military people go well. It may be too much of the same exact thing. You see what I'm saying? Because like I told you, you need to be able to bend and mold with your partner. So sometimes to bend and mold, you can't have the same exact type of person, because then they're not going to want to bend where you bend. So imagine that you need to bend in an area. If you got a person, but you don't want to bend. If you got a person who's just like you, they're not going to want to bend in the same area. You see, when you have this sort of this yin and the yang, you can, it's what you can do. It's almost like saying, hey, I like to cook, but he likes to clean. We're not the exact same, but I'll do the cooking, he does the cleaning. It's the yin and yang. What if we were both chefs in the kitchen? Now we both want to cook, but maybe we both don't want to clean up. That's the point I'm trying to make. So she didn't say she picked this other guy. She picked Cedric. Let's see what Cedric says.
Wait, do you want to pop in his villain?
Because I had to. I'm sorry, I have to make a choice. I don't want to hold everyone up. You look nice, well put together. Give me Tupac vibes with the hair, because you do. Like you
Tupac
do.
vibes, yeah.
Eyelashes, you see what I'm saying? You have good hygiene, everything else. I'm clean. You like.
So interesting. She called him Tupac. She says, you give me Tupac with the eyelashes and the eyebrows. I didn't even know Tupac had long eyelashes and eyebrows. The last lady put him down for his eyebrows. She actually complimented him on his eyelashes and eyebrows. So she said she had to pick someone, and it just so happened that the Cedric guy she was getting more vibes with him. Oh, okay.
And I got the best abs in the city.
See, you should have been showing us those abs. He keeps talking about he got the best abs. He should have had on a shirt that showed us his abs a little bit then, Jamie. Why are you covering up? It's all this nonchalantness. It's all this hiding that Jamie does. Why, Jamie? Why do you hide so much? Let women see who you really are. Open up, blossom up a little bit.
Together. I do appreciate it. You have a wonderful smile, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Come on up here with us. Come on up. Let's all head up here.
The two armed service individuals.
Any final questions between the two of you before we determine if we got a match? If you have one, you can go right ahead too.
A question.
If y'all don't have one, that's okay as well.
I was trying to think if I had one.
One too.
Do you have any children?
No.
Okay, that was it for me.
So you said you're about to you're processing out of the Army right now.
I am. I'm going into IRR.
Okay, so she doesn't have any children, I guess. I guess that's why she asked. Otherwise, she would have told him she did. So she said partner, her ex-boyfriend, she wasn't married to that person. Now he's asking, she's processing out of the Army because he knows military life. He knows military life. That could be good or bad.
In my 6 years, so I have to be in that space where if I'm called back to duty, but the odds of that happening are slim as of now. They are slim, but yes, I'm processing out of the Army, so that's a chapter that's behind me that I can just take
6 years, she's processing out.
I'm finished.
And then do you live here?
I don't live here, so I'm originally from Alabama. Alabama girl, roll tide.
Okay, so she's from Alabama. That's Southern roots. Okay. She doesn't live here. Where is here, y'all? I think someone told me here is Arizona. Where is?
So.
Okay. What? He popped the balloon because he was a Georgia Bulldog and he was an Alabama Roll Tide?
You don't live here. That's fine.
Okay.
Wait a minute. He popped the balloon because she doesn't live here? So he expected to come on the show and meet someone from there? That's not even what Pop the Balloon is about. He popped the whole balloon because she's from Alabama, Roll Tide, and he's a Georgia Bulldog. I know about rivalries. Come on now. Come on now, Cedric. He popped the balloon because she doesn't live here. She just says she's processing out. Ugh, this is disappointing.
I was trying to take, a tip from BM. He said, y'all lived in different countries, love could be anywhere. And the job I work for the government. I can live anywhere in the world.
Okay.
So I would move for love.
Jamie's asking, do you want me to take it?
I know, girl. You need. Should she circle back? Should she circle back on to Jamie? I think she should. I think Jamie's worth a date. Now, will it work long term? No, but I'm telling you right now, you cannot get to know Jamie and this pop the balloon. Jamie got layers. Jamie got layers. You may need to go out with him about 3 times before you figure him out. He got layers. I think she should circle back.
You're back. Are you interested in Jamie?
I don't want Jamie to change himself for me, and just me personally,
change himself
is a thing for me.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. Here we go. The same thing about the clothes. This is the same thing. She says, I don't want Jamie to change anything about himself for me. And those braids, just like we said on Dr. Daz, she's turned off by the braids. But girl, nah, because let me tell you something. Jamie can like braids. All he really would need to do is to do the braids where it's not hanging down in 2 strings. We know she comes from the military. She likes a neat, clean look. She probably wear her hair in a bun most of the time. So she wants a man that has a clean. Girl, you ain't got to have everything from exactly like the military. I think Jamie was worth an extra date. I don't know if it could work out or whatever else, but some man that's so enthusiastic about you, the way that Jamie was, and the only thing you don't like about him is his hair, he was worth a date. If he had other red flags besides the hair, then maybe. Jamie didn't tell enough about himself to impress this woman. That's another thing. He holds back a lot. I bet if he had told a little bit more, she might have felt a different kind of way. But she looks at him as probably a little bit too, like I said, nonchalant, and she wants something more stiff. But guess what happened? The guy, like I said before, the guy who's from the army military, who's also regimented himself, he ended up popping the balloon because he was not flexible. And that's what I mean. When you always try to get a person who's just like yourself, the problem is you end up coming to the same place at the same time, and then it doesn't work. So she said she could live anywhere. It wasn't good enough. I'm not for sure that he's attracted to her all the way. And maybe he's just using the distance things as an excuse. I don't know. Or maybe he knows about the military and military people. There's a lot that goes on in the military. That's what I hear. I hear there's a lot of sleeping around in the military. And maybe he knows that. And he says, I wouldn't want to be with a woman in active duty military and I'm at home twiddling my thumbs while she's around all those men in the military. That could be it too.
It does look nice. Your hair does look nice. It does. It looks nice, but more of a clean cut.
See, clean cut.
All right, well, that's all the balloons popped.
Okay.
But we do thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for her.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Ah, Gigi. I had such high hopes for Gigi, and it all just ended in a bust. I think she should have circled back to Jamie. I think she did. I think she should have given him a try, even with the hair. She might have been pleasantly surprised once they got into that deep, philosophical, intellectual conversation that I think she can go to, and I think he could go to. I think she missed an opportunity, ladies. I think she missed an opportunity. But anyway, that's all I got, y'all. I'll see you for the next lady. Bye.